this really well. Let's try this one. All right, are you ready? Oh, you're recording already. All right, so this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up here. So you won't do this while you're giving your speech, but this kind of gives you an idea of how I might outline this if I were. So, this is the time I almost got arrested. Now, I have also been arrested, but that's a story for a different day. And I have no criminal record, so don't get too excited. It was all a misunderstanding. So this is the time I almost got arrested. So this story, oddly enough, begins in a philosophy class. So I was taking this philosophy class. Oddly enough, it was Intro to Ethics, and I was in this class, and I was trying to decide between an 11 o'clock class and an 8 a.m. class. And I decided to pick the 11 o'clock class because it was later in the day, and this is back when I was at Mizzou as an undergrad. And in this class, there was a couple people in the back. I sat in the second row. There was a couple people in the back of the room named, there was BJ, Poof, and Jerome. Now, Poof's name was not actually Poof. That was a shortening of his last name, Poofall, right? His real name was Robert. And BJ, his name was not actually BJ. His actual name was Josh. But on his freshman dorm floor, he was the only black guy on the floor, and there was 3 Joshes, so he became Black Josh, BJ.
Oh, wow.
And he wasn't actually black, he was mixed, but not important. And then Jerome, he was just another roommate. And then they had a fourth roommate who I didn't know. So before and after class, I would chat with BJ and Poof and Jerome, and it was just kind of small talk. And then, in the middle of the semester, towards the end of the semester, probably in March, I think, they had a party, and they were going to have a party, and they're like, hey, you should come to our party. So I did. So I got to know BJ, Poof, and Jerome better as you know. And then eventually, they all stopped being roommates, and Jerome went somewhere. I don't really talk to Jerome anymore, but I'm still friends with BJ and Poof. This was like 10 years ago. So, one night, BJ, Poof and I, we went to the place called Field House. And in Mizzou, this was the place where all the fraternity guys went, and they had $7 bottomless cups on Friday nights, and everyone, and there'd always be fights outside. So, after bars closed at like 1:30 or whatever, the police would line up on the street outside because there'd always be fights and that sort of thing. So that was the type of place this was. So we were there, and we were getting ready to leave, and I got separated from them, and so there was this fight, and there's this fight going on, and I tried to walk around the fight. Well, one of the guys in the fight grabs me and pushes me into the street, which is fine. BJ, he's also 6'5" and mixed, so he's a very large person. And he picks me up, and I'm like hugging my 6'5" security blanket from getting pushed on the street. But it turns out I got pushed into a police officer and a bunch of girls. So they grabbed me from BJ and they put me in the street in handcuffs. And I'm sitting in the middle of the street in handcuffs, and like, hey, what were you doing? Why are you involved in this fight? What's the fight about? And I'm like, hey, I didn't have anything to do with the fight. I was just hanging out with my friends, and there's my ride. I'm going to go home. No problem. Well, so that's when so eventually they let me go because I was just standing there and they didn't really have anything to arrest me for. So then I was thinking later. So the moral of the story, I was thinking later. Think back to all these little decisions I had made in the past. So taking an 11 o'clock class, becoming friends with BJ and Poof, and choosing to go to the field house. But the biggest thing was a simple decision of trying to take 11 o'clock class. I mean, think about it, whether you guys took the Saturday class or one of the Friday evening classes, and resulted in almost getting arrested 3 years later, right? Little decisions can translate into big changes, right? And that's my story.